All right. So let's get to the beef here. Idle. So let me be real with you on Idle, because, and we're going to talk about the Idle Brave merger. If you haven't noticed Idle and Brave, they announced a merger. Now I'm going to read the announcement from Idle. I'm also going to read my kind of interpretation of that. I'm also going to read Aviel's kind of short message as well. Aviel Basin, the former CEO of Idle. But just to be very clear, because I want everybody to know, Idle did pay me to review their contract, right? And to provide comments. I provided those months ago. And I did not hear back from Aviel until very recently, when he said, hey, we're about to go in major structural change, and you'll understand why everything took so long, when we announce it's going to be announced soon. And I was like, oh, okay. And I had an idea that this was it, that they were having, either a wind down or a merger or something else like that. It had to be that reason, because he just fully cut off responses after I delivered what I was supposed to deliver. And I was like, hey, what's going on with this? What's the status? You're supposed to have an interview with him, and then all of a sudden, poof. And it turns out it's a merger. So what that means is, for me and my side of this, is even if they had approved everything I said, which, by the way, I don't think they would approve every single change that I suggested. I think they'd approve maybe 75 or 50% of them, because they're very reasonable and they're very much in the protection of the VTuber without sacrificing too much from the company standpoint, right? They might even approve near 100%, but never know. It's very likely that contract never sees the light of day, both my version and their version, which is very, very disappointing, because I was waiting to do my, hey, this is a standard VTuber contract, till after they put that out, because I wanted to use that as an example of, hey, here's some baseline, here's some variability. It would have been nice to talk about, but I don't get to do that now. So I'm still going to put out, hey, here's a standard contract. I just can't say here's the Idle contract anymore, because Idle does not exist. They're winding down. And therefore, even if I did have permission, which I don't, to release the draft version of their contract, it wouldn't matter, because Brave, now that they've assumed that ownership, is going to have a different agreement. It's going to have, and they do have different agreements. So we're going to get into that. We're going to do that very, very shortly, because obviously I am upset. I'm upset that I didn't get to talk about this more, because this is something I'm very, very much passionate about, particularly the contracts, and being able to get a better contract into the hands, particularly of indies who may not know and they're thinking of signing or doing something else. It's so good to have a baseline or standard contract form. And now that's something that potentially got taken away, because they're not there to put it out there. And Aviel had said, hey, we're going to put out this contract for everyone to see. So I'll start with Aviel's comments. I'll start with his first. So here we have from Aviel. This is his statement. He was the CEO of Idle. He said, dear Idle fans and followers, I'd like to announce that I'll be stepping down as CEO of Idle and passing the bandwagon to the Brave group. It is surreal to say goodbye to something that has been such a big part of my life, but it's time for a new chapter for both Idle and me. When I founded Idle, it was about giving amazing creators the spotlight they deserve and challenging what VTuber agencies should be. Looking back, I'm amazed how far we've come, and I'm grateful for every moment. I've wished the best of luck to the Brave group, and I'm excited, genuinely excited about what this means for Idle. They're just as passionate and committed to taking our original vision to the next level, and I trust them to lead Idle into a promising future. To everyone that's been part of the journey, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your support during the highs and lows kept us going. As I move on, I take with me not just memories, but invaluable experiences and lessons I'll cherish forever. I can't wait to see how Idle grows and evolves, and here's to new beginnings, continued success, and maybe our paths crossing again someday. With all my thanks, Aviel Basin. So, very nice sentiment here. I do believe it's heartfelt. However, I will say it's gonna end, right? So Idle, as we know it, is not going to continue to grow and evolve. It's going to end, right? Now, the folks that may be part of it or that were part of it, the VTubers that were, in that group, obviously they can choose whether to stay or to go. And we're going to read about that in the kind of idle announcement. But it's not, if they stay, it's not going to be the same way as it was. And that's an obvious thing in mergers and acquisitions. And it's also obvious from the idle statement. So let's look at the idle statement here. And once again, I'm trying to be very, very fair here because I did have good interactions with Aviel, but that doesn't mean I'm going to pull punches and tell it one way when it is another way. I'm just 100% honest, and that's always been my thing, is just being honest, even if it's a situation where I got paid. And once again, I didn't get paid to lie for them or cover, do propaganda or anything else. It's just to give my comments on a contract as a one-off project, right? Right now, I'm no longer engaged because I've submitted that project. So I have no contractual duty to them, no client duty, other than the fact that I would keep confidential the version of their contract that they distributed to me, because they have not specifically authorized me to release that. Right. Other than that duty of confidentiality, all my other duties are pretty much released at this point because I've completed what I was tasked to do. Announcement from the Idle VTuber agency. Dear fans, 3 years ago, Idle was founded. I'm going to see if I can get this a little bit. Nah, it's too. That's all right. We'll do it. Idle was founded with minimal resources and a vision to support talents and maintain transparency within our community. Well, one problem is the minimal resources. When you've got minimal resources, it does make it tough, really tough. Over the years, as we've grown and expanded our talent roster, maintaining the same level of support and operational efficiency has become increasingly challenging. Well, that's the thing. As you scale, you're going to have a problem with economy of scale. You're going to have a problem with, hey, are we actually leveling up or not? Right? And when you level up, you need to hire more people, and that costs money, and people are expensive. And it's hard to, I'll tell you one thing, it's hard to get people that are competent too, right? You may get somebody that thinks they can do a job, but can they? To address these challenges and continue our mission, we are excited to announce that Idle has been acquired by Brave Group. So this part is the true part. So Brave Group is bigger. So there are some things, particularly when it comes to regulatory stuff, legal stuff, right? That a group which already has a US presence, which Brave does, and we're going to look at that. They've already got a presence in the US. They've already got IP in the US, right? So that's a big one for Brave. That's going to be an advantage. It's going to be a big advantage. It's going to be a big advantage because having that office where you're also working with V4 Mirai, with Oshi Live, and then throw an Idle in there, they've already got experience on that. They've got, two separate with V4 Mirai and Idle with the platform of Oshi Live. You've got a lot of stuff there moving in the US group. So going back to this, the strategic move will allow us to continue supporting our talents with more resources and operational efficiency. More money. What they mean is more money. Right. Brave Group US shares our passion for VTubing and is committed to our original vision. We believe we can elevate Idle to new heights. Talents will have the opportunity, here it is, to continue with Brave Group under the new structure or to become the indies with their existing characters and social media accounts. I don't think anybody else, and I watched a couple other folks cover this. I don't think anybody knows what this means. What this means is their current contract is dead. So they are shredding the current contract and signing a new contract, going into a new agreement, a new structure with Brave, right? Because now that can be good or bad. I have not seen the Brave contract. However, They are, and this is a big plus. I actually do agree with this. To become indies with their existing characters in social media, that's really laudable. So this option, giving them the option to become an indie, is huge. And I actually really celebrate that. I think that's awesome. I think that's a great opportunity. And I love giving that modularity where, hey, look, if you want to take your character and go, we're going to let you go because we want you to be happy and successful. And we want to go off with a good reputation. So we're going to let you go. Now, I'm going to tell you one thing right now. And I'm going to say this. Brave was probably not happy about that clause. Brave was probably not happy about that clause. Not happy at all. Because if you buy a company from the buyer's perspective, what are you buying? Especially if you buy a VTuber agency, what does it matter? What does the logo of Idle Corporation get them? Nothing. What does the administration or the one or two employees get them? Nothing. The only thing worth a damn in Idle is the talent themselves. That's the only thing that's worth a damn, is the IP and the talent themselves. So if you go into a deal and you're saying, hey, you could lose the entire value of the deal. They could all leave. They could just leave. And you will get nothing, sirs. That's kind of nuts. That is kind of nuts. And I do wonder how much they offered, because they're saying they can take their existing characters. So they're saying, essentially, we're going to give you the IP. Because that's the only way it would work. Like, the idols are the ones bringing it home. And without the goddamn idols, what is this? It's not idle. It's empty. It's empty idle. So I don't know how much they docked or what the deal was with payment here. Maybe even because we don't know. Remember, this is a private company and this is a private acquisition. So private company acquiring a private company. Maybe they're paying them based on the amount of IP they ultimately end up gaining and the people they ultimately end up signing. I don't know. I don't know how that works out. I have no clue. I've been given no deal about that. But I would, if I was a lawyer for Brave, I would say, what are we getting here? And mind you guys, I've gone through mergers and acquisitions, both an acquisition and a merger. In fact, I was merged out. The fun fact, when my company went to merge, so they were acquired by a larger company. We acquired several smaller companies, but then we in turn were acquired by a giant company. They initially thought they needed to fire a bunch of people, but they realized they literally couldn't do the work. So like, well, we're going to keep you guys on, but you're contractors. I'm like, okay, that works for me. You're telling me I don't have to go to the office? Like, yeah. Like you don't get to work 40 hours a week. Oh no. Oh Lord, I don't get to work 40 hours. Oh gosh, golly. Whatever will I do? In Korean. In Seoul. It's great. It was great. But yeah. Brave Group and Idle are aware of past operational issues, so they're acknowledging some of the issues they had regarding payment of vendors and slow payment, and are dedicated to resolving them and preventing future occurrences. We will provide a clear timeline for delivery of all previously unshipped merchandise. Any items that cannot be shipped will be refunded. And additionally, if any freelancer has issues with an open invoice prior to the acquisition, please reach out directly to payments@idlecompany.com. We understand it's a significant change. We appreciate your patience and continued support as we navigate this exciting new chapter. Please look forward to a follow-up statement in the coming weeks with more detailed information. Thanks for your part in our community. Sincerely, Idle. So that's the statement right there. And let me just show you real quick, Brave Group and all their acquisitions, because this group, and this is the pattern, which I'm not sure a lot of people recognize, but this is a very concerning pattern. So they've been eating up all of these small companies. So in 2022 June, they got Virtual Entertainment, Mate Riel, Mugen Live. Then they got Geek Hive in 2023 in July. Then they got Lara in 2023 November, and D1 in 2023 November. Then they got 2024 Smart PR, Smart Price, whatever. Smart Price. 2024. August, idle. So they've got all this. What do they have? A global network, business support, meaning just more money. And they do some projects and collabs and other stuff like that. Right? But look, their CEO, very much Japanese CEO. Brave Group has managed to grow by providing the means to those with a pioneering spirit to develop an environment allowing everyone to excel. It's committed to maintaining those efforts in order to become a world-class company. Okay, that's all corporate speak, but you know what the point is here? I'll tell you what their point is.